day 4 of the Montane Arctic Spine Race, and you may have noticed that our coverage today has been a little bit quieter. The nature of this event means that we are now seeing our competitors spread over nearly 100 miles of course, with vast distances and virtually inaccessible areas in between them. We are, however, doing our best to bring you plenty of updates from out on the course. I'm based here now out of Kvikjok at checkpoint 2. We've got a number of runners coming through here throughout the night and into tomorrow. Firstly though, let's have a look back down the course and see what's going on. In the early hours of this morning, the final 2 runners in the Explorer race crossed the line into Nicolota and took home their finishers' medals, which was really exciting to see. We're really delighted that Paul and Olivia are battling some pretty horrid conditions. I'm sure many of you will have seen the video of Olivia up at Hut 2 getting buffeted by the wind, putting her tent up. They battled some really horrid conditions coming down into the hut with whiteouts and slow going, but they made it across the line and into the safety and security of the finish line. Talking about Hut 2, our team up there, our safety team, are still stranded due to the weather. The safest thing for them to do is to stay put. Currently 2 members of the safety team, 2 medics and a media team member are stuck in the hut, but they're having plenty of fun together. They've been sledging, they've been eating meals, but they can't quite get down yet. The plan is, however, to pull them out tomorrow and get them back down the course to help support the runners as they move forward.
This is the Hut 2 weather update. Alex
dancing with the wind.
has got long trousers on. That's all you need to know. Hi, I'm Sam from Global Expedition Medics. We're currently here, it's about -10. We're in Arctic Sweden, providing medical cover for the Arctic Spine Race. All going very well, no massive issues so far, except for that we are stuck here for 3 days because the weather's too bad to get us out. So we're here, we're trying to keep ourselves entertaining. Key things about medicine is look after yourself, be prepared for anything, and don't take any unnecessary risks.
I'm here in Kvikjok in the parish hall. This is checkpoint 2 of the full spine and the finish of the Challenger. Now, Leif Abrahamsson, he's just about to come through the door, and we're going to see him as he sorts his equipment out and see what sort of state he's in. He was looking cool, calm and collected during his safety check-in today with the Samis, and I think he's motoring ahead. He's got a multiple hour gap. We're thinking about a 5-hour gap between him and second place Joe Bars, just behind him Ulf Norrie. That's a really exciting fight for the front there, with 2 really strong competitors really close together and both sort of duking it out for the second place. Joe has been looking over his shoulder, and Ulf, ever consistent, ever steady, is chasing him down, though we think he's maybe holding back a little bit, sitting on Joe's tails until the moment rises for him to kick forward and take him on for second place on the podium. Behind Ulf, we've got a small group that bibbied in for the night. That's John Shield and Kira Paval. They've been travelling together for quite a lot of today. And a little bit further back, just in the middle of one of the lake crossing sections, we've got Rob Brooks, joined by Barclay Morrison and Alexander Allen. They're bivvying for the night now, we believe, as the darkness draws in and the temperature plummets. Matthew Bonnier is also still moving out well on course in the full race. He's had some challenges with his pulp and has damaged it, so he's been facing some more difficulties on course that has required him to stop and use up some of his precious time to fix his equipment, but he's back on the move again and has caught up with that backpack.
Talking about the accent from the river,
Right.
From the first lake, the river.
Yeah.
So
You went the first. Well, you were through that quite.
yeah, but there was a couple of people before me, but they were
They stopped them,
trying everything else. But
So I just complimented that it is fantastic that he just,
Took
it and just okay. That's just one way. I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
So,
Maybe some Northern Lights?
yeah.
Yeah, I've been at the three last nights.
Yeah.
That's not so.
Unfortunately, we've had 6 DNFs out on course today. This was due to a number of different factors: inclement weather, the challenge of the course itself, and the tightening cut-off has been a little bit too much for some of our runners. They put in a phenomenal effort to get this far in such brutal conditions, and they all hang their heads high with pride for the fact that they've come out on the course and given it a really, really good go. Leslie Binns and Mike James were pulled off the course by the Samis, who dropped out there in their snowmobiles and assisted them back down into the safety of checkpoint 1. Shortly after that, Rianne Dasselar, Scott Donatelli and Jules Bardwell were also lifted off the course. They had decided at that point they weren't going to make the cut-off times and had asked for assistance from our safety teams, who were happy to oblige and pull them out. They made absolutely the right decision there to hunker down. And remember that the athletes on this race are incredibly experienced, and oftentimes in this environment, the safest thing you can do when you feel a little bit worried about the weather and a little bit about the risk you're having to take is just to hunker down, get your stove on, get your tent up, and you can sit warm in those tents for a number of days, and that's exactly what they did until the Simon team could come and help assist them down to checkpoint 1. Finally, Kerry Morgan has made the sensible decision to not continue his race after reassessing the safety in some of the lake crossings. He felt personally that it wasn't worth the risk to put himself out there, and as we're always dynamically risk assessing in these environments, he was left with 2 options. One was to pitch his tent and wait until first light and make an attempt at the crossing following the stick markings, or 2, to stop and call his race completely. He decided to call his race completely, and he's now been picked up by our safety team and also taken back to the checkpoint.
It was a really nice holiday, but the last leg there was the wind and the ice. That was a bad combination. I'm light.
Yeah.
And then when the wind comes, like those wind gusts, it took my poke, and then the poke took me.
Yeah, because you're on a fixed
Just-
pace, the wind just flips around. So,
Yeah.
so she tried to put it in front of her, and it pulled her over.
I just disappear, you know. I can't hold my poke.
I was on the rope trace, so every time I just like my pole would come flying past me, and I just looked like go a bit like that. I had crampon snowshoes. Which were
Yes, I
really
had my
good.
spikes. No
Your
skis, of
spikes
course.
were good, but
Yeah.
not in that wind.
No. Anyway, no, but it's also my weight. I couldn't hold the poke. It was just coming
Probably
like,
don't need this.
So,
like that.
have you spent the last sort of 24 hours just in tents back there then?
Yeah.
Oh, we've been cooking,
We
we've been
set up-
talking.
Set up camp. We had to put a
Already
snowball up.
snowball, already
We
good snowball.
perfected our snowball.
Yes, we texted actually that we were good. We had like food and
We shared the
kitchen,
food, so we had
for
loads of
two
water,
more
loads of
days,
food.
so
As John knows, I've got more than enough fuel. In fact, I've still got 1 full canister left. You told me. Really gutting
Yeah.
not to finish. Because it got warm, all the snow's disappeared. So on the lake, it's like an ice rink. And the only
only ice.
reason, I was thinking, I was so lucky with my choice of snowshoes, which are like crampons, like Scott's got. Because the only reason we got across that lake, and even Scott fell over, and there was like 300 metres, 200-300 metres. He was just on the ice being dragged along by the pole.
you just have to wait till the wind stops and then you're okay again because you can't stop yourself.
Wow.
You'd be
Because
better
he's-
off
he's
with
light
ice
also, and
skating
that is
shoes
now
most
good.
of the time. But normally it'd be snow covered, so you could probably ski it
Yeah, that would
or
not be a
walk it
problem.
without, and the pole would be under control behind you. But because it's sheet ice, it's impossible in the wind.
Yeah, it was the lake. Fuck the lake.
Fuck the lake. Yeah, well, on that note, should we get you somewhere warm?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
So that leaves us with just 8 runners out on the full spine and 1 runner left on the Challenger as we head in to day 5 of the Montane Arctic Spine Races. Stick with us, folks. Keep watching those dots.